it is 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the President of the Republic congratulated his French counterpart on the occasions of the 14th July. The Ismail Omar Guelleh Foundation transforms lives in Dakhel. For the international scene, Egypt, the country announces agreement to stimulate the private sector. Welcome to our newsroom. The message of congratulations from the President of the Republic to his French counterpart on Wednesday. The head of state, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, sent a congratulatory telegram to President Emmanuel Macron on the occasions of the anniversary of the French Republic's national holiday. I wish the French nations more prosperity and influence, wrote President Guelleh in the message, through the values and ideals it promotes. The Bastille Day celebrations reflects an ethics of universal meeting to which all the world society subscribe, noted the head of state in the same document. The President of the Republic then took advantage of the telegram to express his satisfaction at the special age-old ties forged by history, language, and culture that our country shares with France. We will never cease to work towards strengthening the multifaceted cooperation between our two nations, which extends to all sectors of sustainable development, declared the head of state, who also reiterated the Republic of Djibouti's attachment to the preservation and promotion of the strategic treaty between France and the Republic of Djibouti. The Republic of Djibouti's commitment to preserving and promoting the strategic France in military and defense matters. As part of the government's effort to fight fires, especially during the hot season, Prime Minister Abdelkader Kamil Mohammed today visited the Riyadh market, where preventive measures have been taken. These measures include the installations of a fire extinguisher to extinguish an incipient fire that threatens safety. It is highly recommended to have fire extinguishers in this kind of place, which is very popular with the population. During his visit, the Prime Minister was accompanied by Colonel Mahmoud Musa Mahmoud, General Directors of the National Civil Protection, the commander of the Corps of the Sapeurs-Pompiers of Djibouti. This measure underlines the importance of fire prevention and raising awareness of safety measures in the home. It is essential to check electrical installations regularly and to keep an eye on any fires lit in these hot Khamsin weather conditions. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Prince Faisal bin Farhan, has received a written message from the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Djibouti, His Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf. The message is concerned bilateral relations between the two countries. The message was received by the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency El Khareji, during his meeting in Riyadh with the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps and Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Mr. Diaydin Said Ben Makrama. The meeting provided an opportunity for both parties to discuss bilateral relations and explore ways of strengthening cooperation in various sectors. Views were also exchanged on topics of common interest and current developments. As part of the launch of the large-scale control and verification campaign concerning the compliance of merchants with the tax obligation, the Minister of Budget, Isman Ibrahim Roble, held a meeting with the various agents of the General Directorate of Taxes for final briefings at the Hotel des Impôts. As a reminder, this operation is aimed at any trader, natural or legal persons who starts a business is required to declare to the relevant tax authorities the creation of this new activity in the months following its commencement. The meeting was attended by the Tax Director General Mahmoud Musa Roble and his key collaborators. For his part, the Minister of Budget, Isman Ibrahim Roble, had said that the various agents of the General Directorate for a final briefings. As a reminder, this operation is aimed at any trader, natural or legal person who starts a business is required to declare to the relevant tax authorities the creation of this new activity in the months following its start. After the launch, the Directorate General of Taxes carried out and went to bench against the main local traders to check that they were complying with their tax obligations. This is a right which the competent authorities, as part of their legal prerogatives, ensure is effectively enforced. In addition, all those who are not up to date with their tax obligations are exposed to the penalties provided for, which could mean the closures of their stele. The General Directions of Taxes reserve the rights to carry out general tax inspections with the support of the forces of law and orders. This morning, the Food and Agriculture Organizations of the United Nations, FAO, and the Ministry of Agriculture held a joint ceremony to launch 4 projects designated to strengthen food security and promote balanced nutrition in the country. The event, which took place at the Lake Zakassia Hotel, the event which took place in Djibouti, was attended by the Minister of Agriculture, Mohamed Ahmed Awale, the French ambassador to Djibouti, Dana Purkerescu, the head of the Djibouti embassy, the Japanese chargé d'affaires, the head of the FAO Djibouti office, Ms. Ricarda Mondri, as well as national experts from government partners, representatives of civil societies, and players from the agricultural sector. The workshop, which continued through the morning, gave detailed presentations of the 4 major projects to be implemented under this joint initiative. The first project aims to help the most vulnerable pastoral and agro-pastoral communities cope with drought by providing livestock feed and unconditional cash transfers. FAO representative Ricarda Mondri affirmed her commitment to supporting the Djibouti government in implementing this project and to providing technical assistance and expertise to maximize their impact and results. For his part, the Minister of Agriculture, Mohamed Ahmed Awale, expressed his gratitude to FAO and financial partners for their commitment to agricultural development and food security in Djibouti. He stressed the importance of this project in improving the livelihoods of rural communities, strengthening resilience in the face of climatic challenges, and promoting a healthy, balanced diet. A new chapter of solidarity. The EOJ Foundation transforms lives in Dakhil as part of its ongoing missions to meet the decent housing needs of the most vulnerable and needy. The EOJ Foundation for Housing, led by its managing director, Mahmoud Ali, traveled to the city of Unity, Dakhil, for a ceremony to hand over the key of 14 beneficiaries, 40 homes beneficiaries in the city of Dakhil. The ceremony, marked by hope and charge, took place at the Dakhil Regional Councils and was honored by the presence of the Sultan of Kobat, the Uqal General and Director General of the Agency for National with Persons with Disability, as well as the members of the government, including the Minister of Infrastructure and Equipment and Hassan Humad Arbahim, the Minister of Social Affairs Solidarity, Ulufa Ismail Abdo, local authorities, including the region's prefect, a member of parliament, and local elected representatives were also present.
جنادي إفكاي دخيلي جوي معاني دخيلي جاجوس نميمية عدو جاركو دونتيو.
For his part, the INPH Director General Douali Saeed Mahmoud said today we are gathered here today to hand over the key for the benefit of the most needy. These initiatives by the President of the Republic is also concrete proof of the will to provide solutions to the critical problems of affordable housing in the countries. And for the director of the EOJ Foundation, he indicated that these initiatives by the President of the Republic is our mission. Day and night we work to leave no one behind, to offer housing to the most vulnerable household, so that they are not excluded. The foundation has built 15 houses in the Unity region. It's the keys to which will be handed over today. For his part, the Minister of Transport, Hassan Hamad Arbahim, said on the initiative of the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, through its foundation EOJ for Housing, which set up about 50 houses for the vulnerable people in the regions of Dakhil. We came to hand over the keys of these houses to the most needy people. They granted more than 115 houses for the region of Dakhil, 50 houses in Yoboki, and 50 houses in Mulud, and 50 others to the regional Dakhil city. For the rest of the regions, they gave 100 houses by regions, and it is the regions of the Unity Dakhil which profited the most, and it was the President of the Republic who asked that 115 homes be given to the Dakhil regions because it includes two communities. Many things have been developed by the President of the Republic, as you have seen with the promotions of women, the promotions of disabled people. This is to improve the living conditions of the vulnerable people, and I take this opportunity to thank and return the gratitude to the elders and notable of the Dakhil regions who have spared no effort for the success of this project and the organizations of this day. At the end of the ceremony, it was offered to the foundation's housing complex where 50 beneficiaries were handed the key of their new homes. These beneficiaries drawn from the social register managed by the Ministry of Social Affairs Solidarity meet vulnerability criteria such as disability, non-ownership, and large families. Achievement and prospect in the housing sector stem from the policy of the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, who has made the constructions of social housing in the regions a national priority to give their inhabitants easy access to decent housing. In the Dakhil region, the EOJ Foundation for Housing has granted 13 housing units in Mulud and 15 in Dakhil city and 50 units to allocate very shortly in the locality of Yoboki. In addition to Dakhil, the foundation's EOJ for Housing covers the 5 regions of the interior as well as Djibouti city with a view to multiplying the number of housing units in the capital as well as in all the prefectures and sub-prefectures of Djibouti city. This prospect stem from the visions of the President of the Republic, who has pledged to leave no one by the wayside. Still in the country's news, this morning the large conference room of the Chamber of Commerce hosted the launch of the Business Human Rights Project in partnership with the UNDP, CNDH, the Ministry of Justice, and the Chamber of Commerce. The event brought together business leaders to a day dedicated to promoting human rights in a business sector. The highlight of the day was a comprehensive prevention of the objectives and key aspects of the Business Human Rights Project. The project aims to raise awareness of human rights principles and their practical implementation among Djibouti businesses to foster a business environment that respects human rights, to promote responsible business conduct, and to contribute to sustainable development. Today's meeting is about the presentations of today's meeting is the president of the National Human Rights Commission said that today's meeting is about the presentations of the business and human rights project in collaboration with the Djibouti Chamber of Commerce and the Djibouti Human Rights Commissioners and UNDP. At the meeting, we presented the different part of this project that give greater importance to the protection of human rights. It is time to start this project in Djibouti. We welcome to the expansion of business awareness on the protection and protections of human rights. We are pleased that Djibouti is one of the leading countries that have moved this project to give a special attention to businesses and the protections of human rights. I hope that the implementation of this project is our countries will lead to progress and that the international competitions will come first. The National Agency for Disabled Persons, in collaboration with the Center for Leadership and Entrepreneurship, CLE, organized this morning the launch of the entrepreneurship awareness sessions for young people and women with disability in Djibouti City. The awareness raising session took place at the National Library and Archives and was chaired by the NPH Director General Douala Saeed Mahmoud. The event was also attended by the General Director of IDDS, Mahdi Muhammad, and the Director of NPC Joint Service, Ms. Ubah Hussein, as well as NPH officials. This entrepreneurship project is one of the ways of combating poverty and unemployment among young people and women with disability by promoting the creations of income-generating activities in urban areas. This entrepreneurship project is part of the drive to improve and promote the empowerment of young people and women with disability in our country. Today, Wednesday, 12th of July 2023, the second meeting of the Regional Assembly of Elected Representatives was held in the headquarters of the Altas Regional Council. The meeting was attended by the region's new prefect, Hassan Dabele Ahmed, in the presence of the president of the regional council, member of the elected representative of the decentralized services, the elders and women from the region. The chairman of the council and his elected representative welcomed the prefect of the regions in a presentation of the various ideal project underway in the regions and those of the year to come by the chairman of the council. The prefect in turn took the floor, thanking the council president and his team for their welcomes and pointing out in his speeches that work between the regional councils and the prefecture had improved considerably. Earlier this week, the National Police cleaned up the murder of young man in his 20s, the case which took place in the neighborhood 4 of our capital required the interventions of the 1st District Police Techniques and Scientific of the Criminal Brigade. Indeed, the men of the 1st District, under the directions of the Sub-Lieutenant Ali Hussein Ofle, demonstrated exemplary reactivity by immediately freezing the scene of the crimes and gathering initial information on the perpetrator. According to initial testimonies gathered at the crime scene, it was after a simple altercation that the murderer grabbed a bottle shard and stabbed the victim. He was rushed to Peltier Hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. This case, which was solved in record time, demonstrated the effectiveness of the collaboration between the various departments of the police department who are responsible for the well-being and safety of our fellow citizens. And concerning Captain Hassan Abdul Qadir Ibrahim Gona, from the Criminal Brigade explains more about this case, said according to initial testimonies gathered at the crime scene, it was after a simple altercation that the murderers grabbed a bottle shard and escaped the victim. He was rushed to Peltier Hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. This case, which was solved in record times, demonstrates the effectiveness of the collaboration between the various departments of the national police. For the international scene, Egypt announces a deal to boost private sector. It is in a move to support the ailing private sectors. The Egyptian government said on Tuesday that it had reached a series of agreements to sell $1.9 billion worth of stakes in state-owned companies. This includes Telecom Egypt, the country's major state-owned communication company. We are announcing today that we have concluded contracts with the private sectors to be announced by the Minister of Planning for a total amount of 1.9 billion US dollar. In total, as the minister will announce, the country will receive this sum of a few companies. On these figures, we have received 1.65 billion US dollar, and the remaining 250 million will be paid in Egyptian pound. We received them or part of them from the sale of the communication companies, Telecom Egypt, and other companies that the ministers will talk about, said Mustafa Madbouli, Egypt's prime minister. And to close up this edition, volcanic eruptions in Iceland. No trees at this stage. Mount Liti Hurus erupted on Monday near Reykjavik after several thousand mini earthquakes in the area. The volcano is not Iceland's biggest threat. A low-intensity volcanic eruptions began on Monday's afternoon in Iceland in an uninhabited area of more some 13 kilometers from the capital, Reykjavik. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.